Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vijay and we will be continuing with our Python mastery series. In the past videos, we learned about installation of Python, configuration of VS Code, and we also wrote our first Python program, Hello World, to confirm that our Python environments are now ready for the coding journey. Okay, so today's topic will be syntax and indentation in Python. So before we start actually the topic, just want to highlight from today's video to end of this series, we will be using a code cafe theme uh, to give an context or examples for explanation of the topics. This theme will help us to understand the problem and its solution, Python solution, in a better way rather than giving a random example x is equal to 10, something like that. It's better to relate it to a nearby real life example. So we will be using this cafe example to have all our explanation revolve around it. Okay, and before we start this today's syntax and indentation, let's have a theory about it before we start the coding part. So let me take you to the code editor, oh sorry, the blackboard. Okay, so what is syntax and why it is important in Python, why Python is so obsessed about that we should write a program in the correct syntax. So syntax is nothing but a set of rules. So every language has its own rules. Like English has grammar, mathematics has a formula. In similar way, Python has syntax. Okay, so English has grammar. You can loosely say that Python syntax is the Python's grammar. Okay, so if we write the correct syntax, then only the program will execute. Okay, and if we provide incorrect syntax, it will result in an error. So this is the importance of syntax, because let's say in English, if you speak a sentence in a wrong grammar, the other person might not be able to understand. But computers are very strict. If you write sentence in incorrect syntax, definitely it will throw an error and it won't allow you to execute the program. So to give you a demo, let's say we write a statement print welcome to code cafe. Okay, so this is the first line of code for our code cafe restaurant. Okay, so this is executing perfectly fine without any issues. If we now forget, let's say, inverted commas and try to execute, Python will give us an syntax error. It will highlight to us. IDs nowadays are very intelligent. They will give you the accurate error that you have made some syntax error in this line of code. So it won't allow the program to execute further. Let's say if I write 3 lines of code, and if I made the mistake on the second line, the third line won't execute. Let's say if I write today's order is paneer pizza. Okay, and the order is from table number 2. So if I made a mistake, if I run directly with correct syntax, it will execute perfectly fine. But let's say if I forgot to have the inverted comma in the second line, so program will not execute further. It will give us an error until we fix this error, then only it will execute the third line. So this is the importance of syntax. So it can break your whole Python program. So it is very important that we follow this syntax. As we move ahead in the video series, we will learn the different keywords and syntax necessary for them. Like, just to give you an example, if food ready, print food is ready. Okay, so here if you see, I made a mistake. I have not defined this thing. Before using it, I need to define. So this is also an kind of error. So let's say if I define this one, food ready is equal to true. Okay, so it will print. Here, the important thing to notice is after if statement, I am putting a semicolon. So that is the necessary syntax for any if condition. Don't worry about this part if you don't understand right now. As we move forward in the condition section, we will explain this in more detail. But just to show you or give you a taste of explanation that where the syntax importance is. So let's say if I remove this semicolon and try to execute, it will give me a syntax error. So this missing colon or this missing inverted comma, all these are part of the syntax of Python. This allows Python to understand what we are trying to give the instruction to execute. And if we miss any part of this, the Python program won't execute. So that is the crux of this whole syntax section. Okay. And one more thing, after this syntax, we have comments. We have put the semicolon again back, and if we execute, this is working perfectly fine. Now going back to the blackboard, understanding about comments. So comments is nothing but non-executable portion of code which gives information regarding the code. Okay, so very easy. Whatever we write in comment, it won't execute. The Python won't execute that part. Then what is the need of writing that? So let's say today I am writing a code, and after 1 year or 2 year I have to review that code. I might not remember the context, or I might not remember the exact flow of the code, but comment will help us to remember that. So to show you practically, let me go here, and let's say if I am writing this code, ordered dish is, let's say, samosa has been ordered, and then if I go, quantity is, let's say, 2, and print it is on table number 1. Okay, so let's say I wrote this code, block of code, and tomorrow if someone asks me, I might not remember what was this regarding and what is the purpose of this code. So I will write a comment. To write a comment, we have to put hash and then printing the order details. So whatever is written after the hash, Python will ignore that thing. That is just for the user to understand, or the developer, I would say specifically, to understand what this block of code is doing. So we always prefer, it is a good coding habit that we write the comments so that in future we can refer that and help us to understand what exactly we are trying to do. Okay. So we have till now covered two topics, syntax and comments. Now moving to the third topic, indentation. So what is indentation? Simple indentation is block of spaces. Okay. Okay. Block of spaces. You will say, Vijay, why uh, these spaces are necessary, or why we add the spaces in the program? So for every language, if we are writing any condition or any block of code that should be executed, at that time we are writing under curly braces, but Python prefer to have spaces rather than the curly braces. Let's say if I give you an example, is bill paid? And don't worry if you don't understand this variables and everything that we will be covering. Right now we are just building our uh, foundation, so that whenever we write the commands or we write any code, we can understand what kind of error, like syntax should be perfect and indentation should be perfect. That things we are just now building a foundation for that. In the concepts we will be covering that in more detail. So if I say is bill paid true, and if is bill paid, and now if I hit enter, just notice it has four space that are there, exactly four space that will be there, that Python has left to understand that whatever we write now, that will be under this if block. It is a part of that if block. Okay, so let's say if I say print customer has already paid the bill. Okay, so if we execute, it will execute perfectly fine. So now let's say we remove this part, this space we will remove, and try to execute again. The same code, no change in the logic, no change in the variable name, nothing has changed except the spaces are removed. So if we try to execute, it will give us an indentation error, because Python is expecting that we should write something under the if block, and without space, this statement is not considered a part of if block. Okay, to make you understand more, let me give you one more example here. In the same part, if I put the space here, and after the if block is completed, if I write a customer visit again, okay, so now visit again is not a part of this if block. It does not have any relation if this condition is correct or not. It will execute always. So if I execute, customer has paid the bill, visit again. If I make it false also, the last portion, the last sentence will execute, because it's not a part of if block. To make any statement a part of if while blocks, we have to enter the spaces. And don't worry, again I will repeat that thing about the if block, while block, whatever I am saying, that concept will be covered in more detail, just to give you an idea what indentation error is, what syntax is, so that while we are understanding that concept in depth, you can remember, and if you encounter any of this error, you will be aware about these things. Okay, so this was for the indentation. So today what we learned, if we repeat that thing, first we learned syntax, that is a set of rules. Then we understood about the comments, that is non-executable portion of the code. Then we understood indentation, the block of spaces that we create. And Python is very obsessed about the indentation. If we make any mistake or any extra space, Python will give us an error about that. Okay, so coming back, in the next videos, we will be learning about variables, data types, and all of that in the upcoming videos. So this is it for this video. If you like the video, please subscribe and share. Thank you very much. Happy coding.